When you're working in scenes for a while, often they can build up, especially if you're working with a lot of high-res UDIMs. To help alleviate slowdown, there are a few things that you can do with both layers and nodes. If you're using layers, you can use layer caching. Mari gets sluggish when you've got a lot of layers and adjustments going on, so by caching parts of your layer stack, you can help stop the slowdown. On the right of your layers, you can see a small coloured rectangle. The more complex your stack gets, the less green they turn and the slower Mari will run. You can cache a layer by right-clicking and going down to cache. You can either pick individual ones or use the cache up to here option to do everything below your selection. Once cached, they will turn blue and the padlock icon will now turn to locked, and you should see an improvement in performance. Since caching locks a layer, then you can uncache it at any time by going to that same menu and using the uncache option. I find myself using the cache up to here option when I'm kind of happy with the base layers below and I'm just finessing some of the smaller details in the top of my layer stack. Another way to help speed up your texturing is using layer sharing. Layer sharing creates a copy of that layer that is linked to the original, so when you make changes, they are carried across. To do this, you need to right-click the layer you want to share and go down to Sharing, Share Layer. Mari will then create a copy. You know it is a shared layer as you see the chain icon next to it. You can also make the shared layer go into a new channel by clicking Sharing, Share Layer as Channel. If you want to move the layer to somewhere else, then you can drag it with your mouse in your stack. Copying and pasting it will remove the connection between the layers. I will use this feature when working with layers if I have a mask I want to use in multiple stacks to save time and keep consistency across my textures. If you've got a heavy node graph in your scene, then you can use the bake point node to help speed things up. After creating one, you can click Bake in the Node Properties palette to bake everything in your node tree up until that point. You can also delete the bake from here and change settings like bit depth and color space of the baked image. If it is green, that means it's up to date with everything that comes before it. If it's red, it means something in the tree has changed and the bake point is out of date. So you can either update the bake the way we just did, or if you right-click anywhere in your scene and go down to Edit Bake Points and select Smart Update, it will find and update any bake points that are out of date in your whole node tree. Or you can manually select a bake node and use the options in that same menu to update the point that you have just selected. So those are some ways to help speed up when working with layers and nodes. In our final video, we're going to talk about tweaking Mari's performance. See you there.